Kody and Robyn sold a home last year in 2024. Their home at Knife Trail, as they say, the Knife home, according to Robyn, sold for $1.7 million. The home was highly featured on the show, and it is still the subject of a dispute, a financial one, between Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Mary. What we didn't see on the show was that the house that they were selling was in disrepair. And in the short space of 5 years, Kody and Robyn had managed to destroy their bathroom and their deck. And the reason why it took them so long to sell their home after buying a new home was due to construction that was needed of them in order to close on the home. The buyer asked that fixes be made prior to the home closing, meaning it couldn't pass an inspection. So, they had to fix it before it would be sold. Let me show you. It's not moving to the new house that's a problem. It's that this house doesn't want us to leave. From the day we decided we were going to buy the other house, we started finding problems with this house and we had to fix them in order to sell it. Okay, if you've never gone through the sale of a home, let me just talk with you through this, because some of you might not have done this because what he's talking about is crazy. Okay, when you're getting ready to sell your home, one of the first things that you should do is call a realtor. So, you find a realtor that's going to be your selling person that will help you get the home sold. And one of the very first things the agent will likely want to do is walk through your house and look at the cosmetics to determine what needs to be done in order for you to prepare your home for a showing. Okay? Major issues in the home need to be addressed generally before you go to market, because major issues that remain will impact the marketability of the home, and it will be a sticking point for sellers or for buyers. Because if you have issues that you haven't taken care of, they have incentive to not give you what you should maybe get for the home. Like it can change the price. Now, Flagstaff was in a very uniquely different place, but Kody and Robyn's home sold at $1.775. That included not just the home, but also extra land. So, I don't know what the real home was sold. It was all sold as a deal, but part of it also included a couple acres next to the land. With that said, his agent Justin should have gone through the home with him and had him take a look at what was going on. And it was found during that process that Kody had mold in his bathroom. He's not going to tell you that they had black mold in the bathroom. It was leaking all the way down the walls and the deck was coming apart. And so they had to do a full railing-like fix. And he was trying to sell the home as delayed maintenance, meaning he would sell the home to you and you could fix it on your own, which is most buyers don't want. They don't want to buy a home that they got to fix right away unless they're looking for a fixer-upper, and this is not in the fixer-upper market. So, I just want to explain that right away. Those problems still aren't fully solved. And I've promised the buyer that I will keep this home, that I watch the work till it is done with honor and to his satisfaction. And so, the real problem, just all the hard trouble, and we've had people who have been just on the spot, the cleanup company, sheetrock company, tile company. Okay, so this tells you what was going on. He said he needed a cleaning company. What does that mean? A remediation business is a company that comes into a home to get rid of pollution, contaminants that make a home unlivable and dangerous. There was a serious black mold problem in the home which needed full remediation, not just at the bathroom, but down the walls. And what appears to have happened here is they had to do a remediation, which meant they had to basically destroy the entire shower because the leaking point that it was happening was in that shower. They had to do a cleanup. They had to completely retile it. They had to completely set it all up. But before they could retile it, the destruction is basically so that they can get to the mold and make sure that all the mold is cleaned out and free of contaminants. And then once they remove the contaminants, then they can move on to the retiling, fixing any of the plumbing that needs to be fixed, putting in new grout, getting straight to the source of the problem. I think the trouble was a pipe broke behind the shower. I think that's the story that was growing, or it was leaking behind the shower and they had no idea. I don't know. It gets pretty cold there. And I don't know, honestly, don't ask me. I have a walk-in shower and I will say they are a pain in the ass. They're so pretty, but we're having similar problems with the drywall right by it because water flicks off of the walk-in. And no matter how dry you try to keep the surface, it can still cause pouring in the drywall or the drywall to break. We're in the process here where we're going to have to fix our walk-in shower. We don't have mold like Kody does. But if things don't get fixed, that's what happens. And what this tells me is that Kody and Robyn never really cared to fix the home. They just wanted to get out of the home when the home became a trouble. And it sounds to me like they were aware there was a mold problem and they just wanted to move. It wasn't because they wanted a fresh start. It was because they had a mold problem. And then the buyer comes in, and the loan comes in, and the mold is found, and you can't sell a home that has an mold issue because it's a health problem. It's not safe. So the home has to be brought up to code and it has to be brought out to, so it's safe for other people to move in and live. So for him to act like, oh, it's just like, we just found this thing out. It's so weird he's lying. The flooring company. These people have just worked with us so wonderfully. So, we've got a lot of work here to get done before this house can be sold. Yes, well, it's sold. It's just not going to close until that stuff is done. So, I noticed that Robyn was using a lot of minced words with Kody in this show where the extra scenes were. The first was when Kody's like, wow, our house sold in 2 weeks, or we got a sales deal or a sales offer in 2 weeks. Oh my God, I've never heard of that. Are you kidding? There were houses on the market here at one point that were going and listing and the same day getting an offer. Like properties in Flagstaff at one point in time were going so fast that it was like days. 2 weeks isn't bad. That's good. I mean, that's a fast sale. But a sales deal is not the same as the house being sold. And Robyn's Oh My House in Vegas sold fast. It was like 3 weeks. So their Flagstaff home still sold faster than this. Like what, Robyn? And then here, he says, we still have a lot of work before this house can be sold. And she's like, well, the house is already sold. It just needs to stop. Okay, so I'm not going to play ticky-tack here, Robyn, but let me play ticky-tack with you. A home is not officially sold until it closes. So Kody's right, and I hate to say that. They had a sales deal. It was based on them fixing that problem, and then the home, I'm sure, passing inspection, and then once it's all done at that point, then they close, and then the home is sold. So, it was unclear at that point, not sold. Contingent, not because Kody, the buyer, didn't have the money. The buyer paid cash for this house, by the way. It was because they needed to fix the mold, which Kody is acting like it is so hard to get people to come out to a home and fix things. And one of the things that I heard was going around at the time was that the real estate agent was telling people as they're walking through that he was having a hard time getting people in to fix the property, and people would come and then they wouldn't stay or whatever. And then he's like, these people have been on the spot. And it's like, Kody, stop acting like it's weird that you hire a contractor to do work and then they come and they do the job. That's exactly what workers do when you pay them. Home remodelers or remediators or whatever it is. It's not that hard to get someone out to a house. And it's not like they lived so far in the country that they couldn't get people out there. I think prior to the home selling or wanting to sell, they were trying to get it done low, probably looking for people that would charge less. I have no idea. But to say that they had to they were having a hard time would be false. It could have been a cash flow problem. It could have been a not ready to spend the cash flow problem. You know what I mean? Like you have a problem in your house. It doesn't need to be quickly fixed. So, you're just going to sit on it. So, it's not an urgent need. I'll be honest, we've been having this problem in our bathroom for a couple years, but we're not selling our house and at all. This is we're staying here forever. And because we don't want to go, I don't like moving. The home is big enough for what we have. I don't want to live outside of my means. I don't need to be a bajillionaire. I don't need to have a house. That's just not how I roll. I'm not into material stuff. And I don't want to get into a debt that's huge when I'm 47. I want to have a home paid off and then just be done with it. You know what I mean? And so, if you're not in an urgent state, it's not a hurry to get things fixed. You don't have to fix it because it's your house. You don't want it to fall apart. But I'm sure all of us can walk through our house and there's things that we could be fixing. I'm in my office right now and I need to paint 1.5 walls still. I painted a year ago and I ran out of paint, and then I just left one color on one wall and another on another wall. I have doors that my dogs have scratched. I have floors that need to get fixed. We need to repaint the house again. I have a kid and we have animals, and I just don't feel like fixing any of those things until some of the animals are gone and my child is grown up and we're not throwing crap against the wall constantly and making a mess. I finally now understand why parents, specifically I remember my aunts and my parents, they were like, we're not fixing anything until you guys leave. And I totally understand it now. I get it. kids damage stuff. They throw things. They are messy. They come in with dirt all over them. They knock stuff on walls. They play hard. I mean, it is what it is. It's having kids and being fun, you know. But for Kody and Robyn, they never stay any place long enough ever for this kind of stuff to happen this fast. To develop a major mold problem in the span of 4 years that they live there. That's pretty fast. It means that that leaking pipe that was behind the tap or behind the shower, they didn't correct when it should have been fixed. And leaky pipes need to be fixed quickly, immediately. We had an issue when we first moved into our house where the dishwasher didn't get hooked up correctly and it wasn't connected to the cabinet or to the island, and so it was shaking and it caused a split in the pipe that connected the dishwasher to the sink, and then it went all the way into our ceiling in the basement. You have to fix that right away. You have to have dry roll people come out right away to fix it, and we did. But it sounds like they had a leak and they just never fixed it, and you just can't do that. And I cannot wait to see how they're going to end up trashing the house that they're in now. I mean, they have a lot of kids. They don't have animals, so their houses shouldn't get this trashed this fast. I just don't think that Kody cares to take care of his houses, because I don't think Kody actually views his houses as a long-term place. It's just where he lives. You know what I mean? Kody uses his homes as a tool for cash, the HELOC he has right now, where he's on an interest-only loan for 10 years and he's got $750,000, and he's using the house like a piggy bank, which is the opposite of what you should want to do if you actually care about investments. And he's I don't know, he doesn't look at his or value his houses as that they're just a place that he lives short-term. And the way that they have this new loan on their new home already, and it's an interest-only loan, that tells me that the home that they're currently in is also not going to be long-term, and they know it, and they'll probably end up getting contaminants. But this whole movie is making me want to fix all the problems in my house. How about you? Tell me in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties.